Hi everyone, this is Zoe. During today's workshop, I find some of you have difficulties using Onshape to draw 3D model, and maybe it's because it's the first time that you are using a 3D modeling tool. So it's okay, and that's the reason why I'm doing this video record, because I want to show you step by step with a slower move and help you to build the personal keychain, and we can get ready for our next block, which is 3D print. So let's do it. And before you start building a model, make sure that you have the right unit setting. So go to my account and go to preferences and make sure you have millimeter set as your length unit, and also change the mesh unit to gram. And once you make the changes, and just click save changes. And for the rest of the setting, you just like to show you can select which decimal places that you want to show on your screen, so you can better measure your model. So I will leave as default setting, but you can change it if you like it. So let's go back to our document. So click the Onshape icon here. It will bring us back to the document, your folder. So if you create more files, it will show up here. Then right now I only create one file, so I have only one file here. And notice that in our file there is a small logo right here. It means you are using an education subscription to create this file. And this file will be a public file, which means everyone who have signed up for Onshape, they can see your file. They can use your file if they need it, because we are using the free account, and we will share the file with everyone in this Onshape society. Okay, and right now let's go and create a new document. And beware of that in Onshape, you can name your file the same file name. It won't, the software won't prevent you from naming the file the same. Let's see. Right now, I have two personal keychain, so just be aware of that. If you want to separate your file, be sure to name it differently, so you won't have a hard time to find your file. And today we have talked about how to uh, rotate your view. You can click your mouse button, right click, and scroll your mouse. Maybe not scroll, like move around your mouse. You also can use the cube right here. Let's say if I click top, it will change it to top view. If I click the corner right here, it will take me to the corner of this angle. If I click this corner, it will shift to this side. Click front. If I use the arrow here, it will flip the angle. So play with it and get familiar with your working uh, environment. Okay, now let's go back to create the sketch. So first, we're gonna select the plane where we want to create a sketch on. So I select top and say sketch. So right now I create a sketch on the top plane. And if you find it really messy here, you can hide your plane by clicking the eye right here. So we won't see them. It's clean. And we have our first sketch. And I will draw a center point rectangular. So click this tool and go to the center point, okay? And you click once and drag it and click twice, okay? Then you got a rectangular, and right now we're gonna use dimension tool to set the length and width. So I'll I'll do it slower. Okay, what I did is I'll do it one more time, okay? Let's say I click the dimension tool and come and click the edge. It turns to orange, so I click it and drag and click one more time. So the second click allows me to type in the length that I want. So one more time, click the length or width, the edge you want. Click it, drag, and insert the number and enter. Okay, now I have my rectangular set. And some people was asking why my neighbor's rectangular is bigger than mine. It's not it's not bigger because it just is it seems like bigger because of the zoom in and out. But you have to believe your number here. It says 50 millimeter. That means 50 millimeter. Okay? So don't worry about if your rectangle rectangle looks smaller. That's okay. Just zoom in and it will be bigger. And check. Now we have the rectangle and we want to make a volume of it. So we select the sketch and say extrude. And right now we extrude to 25 millimeter as default. So we change it to 2.4 and enter. Okay, check. Once you have this, we're gonna make fourth corner to be round corner. So we will select the edge. So zoom in and select the edge. And I noticed that in class some people select midpoint. We don't want midpoint, so deselect them. So if you have something selected which you don't want, you have to deselect it. Okay, let's say you select this and accidentally you select the surface. So go back and click it again to deselect it. So select the edge, turn, edge. Okay, right now I have 4 edges selected and I will go to fillet and here the default is 5 millimeter. I change it to 3 millimeter. So just type 3. You don't have to type after that. You just type 3 and do enter. Why is that? Is because we already set our unit to be millimeter. So every number you type inside this document, it's gonna be with the unit of millimeter. So you don't have to type after that. So check. Now we have our base plate. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a frame around this edge. So first of all, we're gonna create a sketch on this surface. So I select the surface and do sketch. And right now I have a sketch exactly on the surface. can tell, right? Okay, then what we're gonna do is, because I want the outline of my rectangle, my round corner rectangle, so I will use offset tool and click the rectangle, round corner rectangle. So instead of just clicking one line, I have to select the surface. Okay, so you see the outline is being selected, the orange outline. Then that's correct. So you come and touch the surface and click. Oh, so you click once and you click twice outside. Then the second click allowed you to input number. So the first number we're going to input is minus -0.8. So it will grow something. So it has the distance between this line and this line is 0.8. Okay, let's do one more. So offset tool is selected, touch the surface one more time. So right now we're gonna set, click one more time and set -2. Okay, so we have create this two outlined right here and check. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna extrude the the frame. I noticed some people extrude the inner rectangle instead of the frame. So you need to change your model. It's better to change it because uh, first it looks nicer, and secondly you will have the same height as the rest of the class. Because if you use this one and you increase it by 1 mm and you type your text on top of it, it will be 1 more millimeter. So the total height of your model will be 4.4, while others is 3.4 mm. Okay, so be sure you have this selected and be extrude. Okay, this one 1 mm and check. Okay, this is what we want. For next step, we're gonna create a circle at the up left corner right here. So we select the surface and say sketch. So I will change it to top view so I can get a better view here. I'll use the circle tool here. So I create a circle. Okay, right now it's not at the correct position, but that's okay. I can change it later. I will use dimension tool to set the diameter first. So this diameter is 3 mm, and I will use my mouse right click and drag a little bit so I can have a better view like this. What I'm gonna do is I will use the dimension tool to select my circle and touch the line and click it. So it create, uh, I will set a distance, like my circle to the line is 1 mm, like that. Okay, I'll do one more time for another edge. So select your dimension tool and click your circle and click the line and drag it down. Um, Sorry, my bad. It's not this side. Okay. Uh, I will enter for this one, but I will select this and delete this. Let me do it one more time. Have this selected and select the circle, but uh, left side of the circle. Click it and click the line. Okay, so you Now you can see it's the small distance right here. So this one I will set it to 1 millimeter. Okay, then I can go back to my top view so it's straight and check. Next step is I want to make a hole of the circle. So I will use extrude tool, but this time instead of create a new extrude or add the extrusion, I will use remove. So I will remove the circle, but I don't want to remove it for 25 millimeter. Instead, I want to do it by this method, up to face, which means I want to create a hole up to a certain face, which face is the which is the bottom face. So I will select bottom. Okay, then it makes hole to this surface. Then I will check it. Okay, now we got the plate. The last sketch you want to make is for your own creation. You're gonna create your name, your logo, or your phone number, your license plate number, whatever you like. So let's make a sketch again, and this time we will use text tool. So I will click the top, then I use text tool, and I draw a box. So I want something like this right here, and I type, for my example, I will just use makerspace. And I will select a font that I like, and I can bold my text if I want, and check. Oh, and I found out, oh, my text is too big. And what I can do here is I can use dimension tool to set the length of my text. So since the maximum length for our design is 50 millimeter, so I guess my text can be something like 40 or 42, let's say. I'll try 42. Okay, then I have to deselect the tool first. So I deselect it, and then I can move my text by dragging the edge around it, and I put it right here. Yeah, I'm happy with it, so I'll check it. Then I will extrude my text. So click the sketch and extrude that, and set the extrusion to 1 millimeter. So it's the same height with the frame you create. Okay, so it's the same height. Okay, well done. You already finished the model, and you can take a look on the manual. I put down a note at this part which says make sure your text, the stroke of your text is smaller than 0.4 millimeter. What does it mean? It means, okay, I will show you how I do the checking. So once you create your text and you extrude it, you can use the tool right here. It's a ruler, it's a measure tape, something like that. So you can measure any length, distance, degree of your model. So I click it, and I come and I zoom it, and I will select a really small edge of my text, such as this edge looks small, smaller than this one. Okay, so I select this, then it tells me it's 0, I mean 0.6 millimeter, which is greater than 0.4. So this is fine. I will select another one. So deselect that first to click somewhere else. Deselect it. And let's see, something like this edge. Let's see, 0.4. Okay, it's also fine, but it's a little bit danger, but it's fine. Okay, so what you're gonna do is check the very small stroke of your text to see if it's greater than 0.4. Okay, this one is smaller than 0.4. So what happened is when the printer is printing this part, maybe it will fail to print perfectly right here. But since our model is pretty small like this, so maybe you won't tell. But if your stroke length is smaller than 0.4, you your print result might not be very good. And why is that? Is because the nozzle of our printer is 0.4 diameter. So everything that's smaller than 0.4, it's hard for the printer to print it out. Okay? So we have to create something thicker for the printer to print. So that's something you need to check. Okay, so we finish our model. Then the last step is to export the model. So how we can do it is by click part. Now we create a part here. Then right click it, say export. So you can name your file. I suggest to name it with your name because we will share the printer and so you name your name so you can find your file easily. So Zoe Keychain for my design. And set the format at STL and binary, units to millimeter, resolution set to fine. Okay, we want the finest resolution, and option is download. So, okay. And right now I can download my keychain. So I'll, I mean, I'll just retype it again. What happened is because I already have another file I made uh, I made for creating the manual for this workshop. So I already have this. So I'm gonna override it. So I save it and says it's already exists. Do you want to override it? Yes, I want. Okay, then I have my file here. And on your computer, maybe you won't see it because I have other programs so it can show the file. But I will show you how it looks like. I open the slicer program here. It's Cura, older version of Cura, but I like this version very much. It's really light and easy to use. So I just drag the file, its STL file, into the Cura. I can see my model is ready to print. Okay, so I hope this video will help you to create your model and hope we can get ready for our next block. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.